If you're new to the Fellowship of Adult Children of Alcoholics, welcome. I would like to give a gentle suggestion for anybody who's new and just starting out. And first of all, greetings from Santa Cruz Island in the Channel Islands National Park. I'm Ken Francis, California licensed marriage and family therapist, and I come out here to the island every year for some rest and relaxation. I notice sometimes that when people are camping and they're out of their normal environment, they tend to get a little raw and some emotions can come up. And I've been out here in the past with friends and family where there's been alcohol involved and some people felt a little raw and I would say drank a little bit too much. And we've had some accidents out here where people have done face plants on the way to the bathroom or gotten lost in the middle of the night coming back from the potty. And it just brings up the notion that when you're dealing with anxiety and you're feeling raw, adding alcohol to the mix is not a good thing. If you're starting a recovery program like Adult Children of Alcoholics, you're starting on an emotional journey into your emotional recovery, which means that you might feel more anxious, you might feel more vulnerable, you just might feel more raw. So if you're dealing with any other type of vices, it doesn't have to be that you're addicted, but if you're dealing with alcohol, marijuana, drugs, gambling, sex, food, codependency, just know that if you don't work on those things at the same time as your emotional recovery, you're going to find that as a way of dealing with the emotions and vulnerability that arise in the program, you might turn more to the alcohol or the weed or the gambling or the codependency. And that's a good way to avoid your feelings and not deal with what's happening and tap into that loving parent response. I've seen a lot of people that minimize their use, even if it's social use. And as they start to go down this road of recovery and the emotions come up, they don't have the coping tools to help them manage. And what they do is they increase the drinking, they increase the weed, or maybe they stop drinking because they know that's a problem. But in the process, they increase the weed or they increase the codependency. Really keep an eye on what's going on. It's almost like you have a leaky hose and you plug one part of the hose and you spring a leak somewhere else. And yeah, you need to pace yourself. If you're starting to feel a little bit too flooded, too emotional, it happens. This is a program of emotions and emotional recovery. So it's going to happen. So you need to pace yourself and you need to have other coping means like going hiking or going kayaking or just hanging out with friends, watching a movie, taking a bubble bath. All of these are things that are nurturing and better than turning to a substance to help manage your emotions. Think of the journey of emotional recovery almost like looking at an iceberg. At the top of the iceberg is the visible part that might be apparent, certain things that make you unhappy, certain things that maybe lead you to feeling like you're at your bottom, as we call it. But what is at the depth of the iceberg? For most people, at the very depth and bottom of their iceberg is shame and abandonment. These are our early core raw emotions and scars that are left over from trauma. As the emotional pain comes up as we deal with these core issues, we really want to catch ourselves from grabbing on to other diversions because then we're really not helping ourselves or becoming our own loving parent. So please, if you're starting a program of recovery, look into different behaviors that you might use to comfort yourself, yet sabotage your growth and your recovery. My recent trips out to the island here have been alcohol free, and it's just amazing how people connect on a deeper level when the alcohol isn't present and just have made the experience that much more enjoyable for everybody. I wish you well in your journey of emotional recovery, because what's waiting for you on the other side is amazing. I'm Ken, and as always, thank you for watching. I love my life.